Turns the ball over, and the pitch is down and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Andrus had a 3-up, 3-down second inning on the strength of a strikeout, a couple of fly ball outs. He had a pop-up, a fly ball, and a ground ball out in the third. Surrendered a leadoff single here in the fourth inning. Also walked the batter. And here we sit 2 men on with 1 gone in the inning. Pitch is right down the middle of the plate for a strike. 1-2 to the batter. Alex Andrus is ready to go. He comes off the mound, delivers, and a fastball is fouled away. And the dimensions of this big ballpark in the North Saskatchewan River Valley, 420 straightaway center. 345 down the left field line, 320 up the line and right. The line and right far shorter because there's a boulevard not far beyond the outfield fence. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Fouled away off the head of the bat. Back at first base and on into the seating area. Runners take their leads. 1 ball, 2 strike is the count. Here comes the pitch. It's an off-speed pitch, and that missed well off the outside half of the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Dinos in their white uniforms today with the red trim. Pretty much every Calgary team with those colors. Riverhawks with the blue top, white bottoms, blue stirrups, and the trim is kind of a lighter shade of blue, almost like a royal blue. On the hands, and it's fouled to the backstop. Field manager of the Calgary Dinos is Cam Williams. And we're about set to go here with a 2 ball, 2 strike pitch, and here it comes. He tried to pull a string on the pitch, and he did that well enough, but the location wasn't where he wanted it. It was up too high. The changeup's a good pitch to throw, but it'll do you absolutely no good at all if you don't throw it in the strike zone. We'll see if they send the runners with 1 away. Runners go, pitch on the way. Sinker ball, swing and a miss, throw down to third base, and you got yourself a strikeout, throw him out, double play. Juan Hella on the receiving end of a perfect strike from the catcher, Noel, and that will retire the side. At 2 out, it's obvious you're going to send your runners on a 3-2 count. There they roll the dice, and this time it didn't come up their way. So it's a good one this afternoon, a 3-0 lead for the Dinos as we move to the home half of the 4th inning. Move on to the bottom half of the fourth inning in a ball game at about the 48-minute mark. Here in the last half of the fourth inning, as we move through the inning, we'll take a look at who's playing who today up in the big leagues of baseball. The Cincinnati Reds today will host the St. Louis Cardinals. The Brewers and the Phillies. They call them now the Guardians as opposed to the Cleveland Indians, and they are Yankee Stadium tonight. The Cleveland Guardians. That's going to take a little getting used to. Here's the pitch. Up high, 1 ball, no strike. Final from yesterday, the Texas Rangers with an 8-6 win over the Seattle Mariners. Again, we have the Brewers and the Phillies tonight at the ballpark in Philadelphia. It'll be the San Francisco Giants and the Washington Nationals. Boston Red Sox move on to Tampa Bay to play the Rays. Rockies and the Tigers, the Marlins and the Atlanta Braves, the defending World Series champions. Ground ball to the left side. Yadzlowski into the hole to make the catch. His throw was on a couple of hops and not in time. That'll be a scratch single to get it going here for Halen Knoll. And Brock Withrow, the first baseman, will be the batter. Pittsburgh Pirates are in Chicago to play the Cubs at the really nice Toronto Blue Jay Ball Club. Move on tonight to the park in Houston to play the Astros, the Orioles and the Angels, the Royals and the Mariners, the Dodgers and the Padres, and the aforementioned Texas Rangers, and the Oakland A's, who are not doing well. I saw an article the other day. They just drew their smallest crowd in franchise history at the Alameda County Coliseum. High and outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Here to the batter, Brock Withrow. Halen Knoll aboard on an infield hit. Double play depth in the middle infield. The outfield is pretty much straight away and playing in a little bit. And the talk is now the A's will, in fact, find themselves moving to Las Vegas. And the construction of a brand new ballpark. 1 ball and no strikes to the count. The pitch is a strike. And that leaving it up at 1-1. If that does happen, that'll be the 4th city for that fabled franchise in the American League. Started out and for many years with the Philadelphia A's, for a short period of time the Kansas City A's. Moved on to Oakland, where they went on to have some really good ball clubs, World Series title ball clubs. And the talk is they'll move to Las Vegas. Brock Withrow, the big first baseman, big strapping ball player, up in the batter's box with a closed-off stance. Kick in the 1-2 pitch, hit it off the head of the bat, and it's a pop fly into left field. Drifting in as Hasselink makes a running grab, and you've got 1 away. That was a good pitch down and away to the batter.
Next is number 7, Jacob Honke.
Jacob Honke, the designated hitter, hitting out of the 7th spot in the Collegiate Riverhawk order. And Jordan Smith, a big lanky right-hander from the set position, throws a strike, belt high and down the middle. And it's another 1 count. Here to Honke. Struck out on a breaking ball his first time up. Delaris goes into his crouch. He completes the battery this afternoon for the Dinos. A pick-off throw to first base. Knoll with a real short lead off the bag. And the pitch, snubbed out to the left of the mound, fielded by the starting pitcher. He squares off. Jordan Smith throws a strike to first base. Knoll will move into scoring position, and there's 2 away. Drew Tollez, the second baseman, will be the batter.
Up number 4, Drew Tollez.
Tollez bounced out his opening time through. Delirious up here at the mound now as they want to get on the same page. If you hear that Hockey Night in Canada anthem, that's my cell phone going off. But obviously not in a position to field a call. Jordan Smith ready to go. He's really done a nice job this afternoon. There he took a little off the pitch and he a little late on his release point. The pitch up a little too high of the strike zone. 1 ball and no strikes. Here's the pitch. Turned it over, and it's low and away. Go to 2 balls and no strikes. As we said in early June, the first of the 28-game home schedule for the Riverhawks in the West Coast Baseball League will get underway as they host the Portland Pickles for the first of a 3-game series and a 6-game homestand. Pitch is a called strike. Go to 2-1. A 4-hit shutout thrown this afternoon by Jordan Smith. One of them an infield hit. 1 hit up the middle, 2 to left field. He did a nice job of changing speeds, throwing strikes, pitching ahead in the count. Throws the fastball upstairs, ball 3. One of the many things that they've done here, the Riverhawks, to improve this stadium is the screen itself. Now you might think, well, what can you do with the screen? Well, they did. They replaced it like it pretty much always was behind home plate. But up the first and third base lines, where that screen was maybe only 15 feet, it's now like about 30. And that is really done for the comfort and the safety of the fans. It's a sort of a black fishnet screen, but if you get just a few feet away from it, you won't even see it. And here's the windup and the 3-2 pitch. Bouncing ball. It is foul of the chalk up the third base line. Caderas gives chase, fields in foul territory. That is Marcus Cuder at third base. Halen Noel reached base on an infield hit. It was a ground ball that took Zaski into the shortstop's hole. It wasn't an easy play. His throw was on target to first on a couple of hops, but not near in time. And here for just a few minutes, the sun has found a way to peek its way through the clouds. Now, this time of year, with the sun getting a little higher in the sky, even for a few minutes, just that sun beating down on the field can actually warm it up a little bit. As I said, the saving grace today, there's no wind. There's a breaking ball, a real nice strikeout. Nice spin, nice break, swing and a miss. Strikeout number 3 on the afternoon for Jordan Smith. No runs on a hit, and the man stranded. 4 complete. 3-0 lead for the Dinos. Back with more play-by-play in just a minute.
Up first, number 21, Darnell White.
Alexandris, the big left-hander, gets ready to go here in the top half of the 5th inning. Bottom end of the order due up. It'll be Darnell Wyke, the center fielder. Got under a pitch and lifted a pop fly to right field his first time through. Out of strike one on the batter. Andrus does not work out of a windup with runners on or off base. He's strictly out of the set position. This one's popped away up there, and in the left-hand side of the batter's box, Knoll is there to make the catch. If you're scoring on that, that's a P2. Pop up to the catcher. You have one away.
Up next, number 28, Cole Yastrzemski.
Cole Yastrzemski will be the batter up. He has twice today. Slide to left field. Anders delivers, and he missed high. 1 ball and no strikes. Day-night doubleheader here today at Remax Field in the Canadian Collegiate Baseball Conference. One gone, bases empty, pitches right down the dish at the knee for a called strike. Strike zone itself is, well, it's obviously 18 inches wide from the black strip in to the black strip away. And the strike zone roughly works from the top of the knee to the bottom of the lead elbow. And what the plate umpire is supposed to do, and it's easier to say than it is to do, you form yourself an imaginary rectangle that covers that area, and if any part of the pitched ball hits any part of the strike zone, it is a strike. Foul tip in the batter's box. Here to the batter, the shortstop, Yastrzemski. Max Skinner, the second baseman, also due up in the inning. Don't think they charged anybody for admission today. There's a few people here in the ballpark, a couple of hundred. We certainly hope to see a big crowd when the Riverhawks open their season in early June against the Portland Pickles. Fully back on the middle infield, midway on the corners. Pitches right down Broadway for a called strike. And Yastrzemski is the third strikeout on the afternoon for Alex Anders.
Up next, number 6, Max Skinner.
Second baseman Max Skinner will be the batter up. He singled and scored in the first inning. Flied out his last time through. As you can see, he's a right-handed batter, about midway in the batter's box. Slight bend knee, straight off stance. And here comes the pitch. Missed inside, ball 1. Both bullpens are idle this afternoon, and for good reason. These starting pitchers have done a nice job. Where Andrus ran into a little bit of trouble as he just couldn't get that third out. He had 2 outs in the inning. At one point in time, had a 2-strike count on a batter, but a base hit knocked in a couple of runs. That was Marcus Kudir, and what it was a ground rule double. The ball is hit onto the warning track in left field today because of the buildup of ice. It's a 2-base hit. Back in our AAA days, that was the biggest problem we had in this park, simply because the sun in the afternoons, which is out in the southern sky, just didn't get high enough to put any sunshine on that ice. And what we'd finally do is just cover the ice with shale. So it looked like it was good. Well, it wasn't. And the outfielders knew that. I don't ever remember that we put a ground rule into effect if a ball was hit on the warning track in left field. But not ideal conditions. Andrus ready to go. Here's the 3-1 delivery, and he throws a strike. Count is full. Again, the OK College with a 10-2 record, Okanagan College. The best record in the league. They've won 8 more games than they've lost. And here comes the pitch. He pulled a changeup foul at third base. Prairie Academy, and they really have a nice program going. I've never been there, but it's at a little place in southern Alberta called Vauxhall. And look at that record, 9 wins, 3 losses. So they do a nice job. There, Max Skinner got a hold and got out in front of a 3-2 changeup. Not often you see a changeup on a 3-ball, 2-strike count. That was a fastball, pulled foul down the left side, hit high in the air and out of play. Ball game now at the 1 hour and 5 minute mark. First end of a day-night doubleheader. The opening pitch in the Twilighter is scheduled to go at about 6 o'clock. And we will not have the play-by-play account of that ball game. Here's the pitch. Ball's popped up. Short right field. Should be a catchable ball onto one's foul territory. Drifting over as tall as the second baseman, and he makes an over-the-shoulder catch. 3 up, 3 down go the Dinos, 4.5 innings through, and a 3-0 Calgary lead.
Up first for our Hawks, number 19, Jacob Moreau.
All right, we go to the last half of the 5th inning, bottom end of the order. Jacob Merlot got a base hit between short and the third his first time up. Obviously didn't pull the ball, but he squared it real nice. That ball was on one hop through the left side of the diamond. And Merlot will lead things away. And the pitch is in there for a call strike, 0-1. Merlot just happens to be one of my favorite varieties of wine. I don't think it's spelt the same way. Strike one to the batter. Midway all the way around the infield. Here's the pitch. Hit on the ground, a comebacker. Snagged here by Jordan Smith. He just about runs it to the bag. And he elects to get an assist as opposed to a putout. 3-1 on the putout, one away. R.J. Bourget, the batter.
Number 9, R.J. Bourget.
Bourget today has bounced out, flat out. Total of 4 hits surrendered on the afternoon here by the starting pitcher, Jordan Smith. 2 balls to left field, a looping line single to center, and an infield hit. From the windup, the pitch is a belt-high strike, 0-1. Ready to go. Here's the 0-1 delivery and a 1-hopper up there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Going to be very interesting once the season starts. This is really just kind of like a dress rehearsal, but all the systems are in place, the concessions, all this kind of stuff. And the ball is slapped softly to the left side of the diamond, fielded here at third base by Kader. Does a full spin as he ranges way onto his left to make the snag. And you got 2 away. Good range by the third baseman, Corder.
Up next, number 6, Braden McKetty.
Braden McKetty had a good afternoon. He's 2 for 2. A single up the middle and a base hit to left field. Deep in the batter's box, his front foot slightly open. And the big left-handed batsman takes down and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Playing at shortstop this afternoon. And here's the pitch. Ground ball to the right side, and that should do it. Skinner is up with it on to first base. 3 ground ball outs here for Jordan Smith here in the last half of the 5th inning. And if there ever was a signal of a pitcher keeping the ball down and changing speeds, it's 3 ground ball outs. A comebacker, 1 to third, 1 to second. 5 innings through, 3-0 lead for the Dinos. Back with more play-by-play in just a minute. On to the sixth inning here today at Remax Field. In the first end of our day-night doubleheader in the Canadian Collegiate Baseball Conference. Been a pretty good pitching duel this afternoon. Alexandris in that first inning surrendered 3 earned runs, and he did it on 4 hits, and those runs came in with 2 away, and then a 2-strike count on the batter that knocked in a pair of runs. But since then, he's been tougher than a nickel steak. 3 up, 3 down in the second, 4 batters up in the third, 4 batters up in the fourth, and a 3 up, 3 down fifth inning. Pitch is pulled foul at first base. Out here on the batter, Chris Cook, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kelly Einerson, the right fielder, and Marcus Coder, the third baseman, are the batters due up. Tallez, the second baseman, fully back and right between the bags of first and second base. Playing this ball to get pulled, and it did, down the right field line. That'll be an extra base hit as Chris Cook chugs into second base with a leadoff double here in the sixth inning. That pitch was up and out over the plate, not where he wanted to throw it, with a 2-strike count on the batter. Eiley Einerson, the right fielder, is the batter. Did a ground rule double in the first inning, and he'd come around to score on a base hit up the middle by Marcus Coder. So the Dinos' potential 4th run in scoring position, and we're just underway here in the top half of the 6th inning. The Dinos now heating up a left-handed arm in the bullpen. Looks like we'll have a little activity in the Collegiate Hawks bullpen as well. Looks like the pitcher's going to get up and start throwing, or at least doing calisthenics. You got to figure the warm-up time a little longer today on I won't call it a cool spring afternoon. Earlier this week we had about a foot of snow, but in baseball conditions it would be considered cool. Pitch is low, 2 balls and no strikes. Knoll goes into his crouch, flashes the target. The way he's lined up in that crouch, he's trying to give his pitcher a low target. And that pitch is high and away, ball 3. Collegiate Hawks with the right-hander up and throwing in the pen. And Andrus is ready to go. Here comes the pitch. That was a fastball strike. That was a 4-seamer on the inside half of the plate. The Dinos now are the left-hander getting loose in the bullpen. 3 ball, 1 strike count on Chris Cook. And the fastball misses, high, ball 4. I have a feeling that Andrus might be kind of running out of gas. He's got 5 innings under his belt. And when you start to run out of gas a little bit, you start to hump up a little more in your fastball. When you do that, it has a tendency to rise out of the strike zone. Seven batters to the plate in the first inning for the Dinos, and they plated all 3 runs, all earned runs, with 2 out in the inning. So it was just that little matter of getting that 2-strike pitch with 2 away. Didn't happen. And the Dinos threaten here with a man aboard, 2 men aboard, runners at first and second base. Here in the top half of the 6th inning, Marcus Coder, the batter. And a pretty good afternoon. He's batting 1,000 today, 2 hits and 2 tries, including a run scored and 2 runs batted in. Juan Hella's going to play on the bunt at third base. He got both feet in on the grass. There he squares off, drops down the bunt, and a pretty good one. Will get the job done. Andrus fields the ball just in front of the mound, throws a strike to first base. Cook will move to third. Einerson on to scoring position. 1-3 on the putout, no time at bat. That'll be a sacrifice. That'll be the end of the line today for Alex Andrus. We'll have a pitching change here in the top of the sixth inning, and we'll be back with more in just a minute. Two men in scoring position with one gone here in the top of the sixth inning. And the new pitcher into the ball game for the Collegiate Hawks is Reese Devlin, a right-handed pitcher. Chris Cook takes his lead at third. Kelly Einerson with the lead off at second base. On the corners, the infielders are playing a little bit shallow. Had about a double play depth on the middle infield, and the opening pitch is a wild pitch. That's going to score a run as Chris Cook comes in to score. Wild pitch to get it going here for Reese Devlin in relief of Alex Andrus. His incomplete totals today, 5 1/3 innings. Run totals have yet to be determined. Here comes the pitch with a man at third. And the ball is belted up the middle. That'll be deep enough to score the run. Drifting back and onto his right is R.J. Bourget. No time at bat and a run batted in for Nathan Demini. And Einerson comes in to score. Jake Hesselink will be the batter up.
Next, number 29, Jake Hesselink.
That'll bring the totals complete on the day on Alex Andrus, as he surrenders 5 earned runs on 6 hits, 3 strikeouts, 2 base on balls, and a 5 1/3 inning distance. So a double and a base on ball, and they come around to score. 1 on a wild pitch, 1 on a deep fly ball. And Jake Hesselink is the batter up. And the pitch, down and away, 1 ball and no strikes. Hesselink this afternoon reached base on an error in the first inning. Drew a base on ball his last time up. And the pitch is a belt-high fastball. Foul to the backstop. Second end of this twin bill, as they would say in Mexico, at Dos Juegos, and that'll get underway at 6 o'clock. Here's the pitch, and that's inside. Off-speed pitch. Although it's not a real warm day here in Edmonton, it's probably outright balmy as compared to what they're going to get in Calgary and parts of southern Alberta today. Forecasting something in the neighborhood, 8, 9, 10 centimeters of snow. But it'll turn right around and be nice and warm tomorrow. Here's the pitch, and a Line drive base hit into right field. He squared that one nicely, didn't pull it, slapped it into right. And a single. And Zach Delarius will be the batter up out of the 8-hole today. He's struck out twice.
Next, number 12, Zach Delakis.
Both strikeouts were of the swinging variety against the starting left-handed pitcher today, Alex Andrus. Devlin with a low pitch, 1 ball and no strikes. Ball game sits at the 1 hour and 24-minute mark here in the 6th inning. Down and in, 2 balls and no strikes. Ball 3. And the 3-0 toss. And he misses ball 4. Second walk of the inning issued here to the Calgary Dinos, one of them by the starter Andrus.
Next, number 21.
And this is the first one here by Reese Devlin. Errol Weike, the center fielder, will be the batter. Runners at first and second, 2 runs in. And it's a 5-0 Dinos lead. And the pitch. Big slow deuce, slow curveball. He tried to check up the swing and he couldn't do so. Strike 1. Again, the totals here for Alex Andrus today. 5 1/3 inning distance, 5 earned runs on 6 hits, 3 strikeouts, walked a pair. Strike on the inside half of the plate, bringing it around to 0-2. And here's the 2-strike delivery. Curveball, he waved at it. Strikeout number 1 on the afternoon for Reese Devlin. Damage is done, though. 2 runs come in to score. On an inning where 7 batters came to the plate. 2 hits, 2 runs, and 2 men left on base. Head to the bottom half of the 6th inning on our afternoon's Twilight Twin Bill.
Batting first, number 24, Aiden Schlesinger.
Out of the last half of the 6th inning, and Aiden Schlesinger, who today has Only got one at bat and one plate appearance. He was hit by a pitch in the first inning. Got a board on the fielder's choice in the third. Jordan Smith plants that left leg down, kicks and delivers. And a breaking ball misses low, 1 ball, no strike. Twice in this ball game, this big right-hander has retired 6 consecutive batters. He's trying to get his 7th right now. Straight changeup, check swing. They appeal. They actually repealed to the wrong base. The umpire at first can't make a call on a left-handed batter, but there was no umpire at third. 2 balls, no strikes to the batter, Aiden Schlesinger. There he climbs the ladder a little bit, gets a strike. Fastball down the middle. 2-1. Connor Juanella, the third baseman, and Alan Knoll, the catcher, due up here in the Collegiate Hawks last half of the 6th inning. That's a strike in the outside black. Four-hit shutout thrown this afternoon by Jordan Smith. Has not walked the batter in the ball game today. He struck out 3. And we're ready to go. Here's the 2-strike delivery. Pitch is low and inside, ball 3. Like he threw a sinker ball. Here's the kick and the 3-2 pitch. Checks the swing, and it'll be ball 4. I guess they put the jinx on Jordan Smith today. Mentioned he hadn't walked the batter, and here he does it to get things going in the bottom half of the 6th inning.
Next up for the Hawks, put some hands together, make some noise at number 37, Connor Juanella.
Juanella, the third baseman, the batter. Well, walks happen, base on balls happen. What you don't want to do is to walk a leadoff batter. It is absolutely uncanny the amount of times a leadoff walk comes in to score. See, you get on base on a leadoff single. They come around to score somewhere between 30-40% of the time. A leadoff base on ball comes around to score somewhere in the 50 to 60 percentile. It's uncanny what happens on a leadoff base on ball. An outside fastball, bring it around to 2 balls, or 1 ball, 1 strike. I'm sure they'd like to go the distance here with Jordan Smith. They got a 5-run spot and 6 outs to get, and save their relief pen for the nightcap. Juanella this afternoon struck out swinging, got under a pitch, lifted a fly ball into left field. Got him batting in the cleanup position today. Big knee bend, front foot slightly open. Works about midway in the left-hander's batter's box. And the count even at a ball and a strike to him. The Edmonton Collegiate Hawks, the home team for this twilight doubleheader today. And Jordan Smith high on outside, ball 2. Swing and a miss. Straight changeup. Nice sink on the pitch. Strike 2. No, we went through weather like this and worse in our AAA days for those 24 seasons in the Pacific Coast League. The early years, we never ever opened at home, but in later years, they'd make the ball club open at home in the second week of April. The wisdom of that I'm still in complete amazement of. Why would they even do it? Even attempted steal of second base. Delarius came out of his crouch to a one-hop strike. Here to the shortstop covering Yudzeski, and that'll go 2-6 on the putout. Hot stealing, 1 away. He picked a pretty good pitch to try to steal second on, a one hopper to the plate, kind of boxed the catcher Delarius, but Kept the ball out in front of him, threw a strike to the bag. Fly ball foul down the left side, now to play. Here in Connor Wanhela. That'll put a little wind in your sails if you're the Calgary Dinos. That's a big out to get. Gunning a runner down at second base for the first out of the inning. Big breaking ball. Nice break on it, too. Big slow deuce from an overhand delivery. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 4 for Jordan Smith. And with 2 away, Halen Knoll, the catcher. Got a board on an infield hit in the 4th inning. Hit a squibber back to the mound at the pitcher, Smith. Made an unassisted put out at first base. One thing Smith does, too, the big, tall, lanky kid, he can motor. Really quick on his feet. Now, being a right-handed pitcher, your follow-through is going to take you to the right of the pitching rubber, and if there's a ball hit to the left side, it's a little tougher to do. But a good fielding pitcher will make up for it. Change up for a call strike. And the 0-2 pitch. There he fights off an inside fastball. Fouled it off up the right side into the vacant seats in the bleacher area. 0-2 count. Once the Riverhawk season does start in the first week of June, we'll have every home game for you on the World Wide Web. We hope you tune us in. And the 2-strike pitch is a called third strike. Strikeout number 5 for Jordan Smith. No doubt about it, that was a strike. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. Smoke rings across here in the last of 6. 7th inning up and coming. Here today from Remax Field. Out of the 7th inning. And Reese Devlin came into the ball game with 1 out in the 6th inning. On the mound here for the 7th, and a rolling ground ball to the right side. Tellez, the second baseman, rolled to his left. He did the fielding part okay, but the throw was left a little something to be desired. That should be an E4. Max Skinner will be the batter. Took my eye off the play because I thought sure that would be a 4-3 putout, but nope. That is an error, and you've got a runner aboard. If he comes in to score, it's an unearned run. Shorten the infield up to a double play depth, and the pitch from Devlin is low, 1 ball and no strikes. Alex Andrus, the starting pitcher today. He is potentially on the hook for a loss. He went a 5 1/3 inning distance. 5 earned runs on 6 hits, 3 strikeouts, 2 base on balls. And here's the 1-0 pitch. Foul to the backstop. Fastball, and he was right on it. 1 ball, 1 strike. Play today in the Canadian Collegiate Baseball Conference. Okanagan College leads the way with a great record. They've won 8 more than they've lost, 10-2. And the Prairie Academy from Vauxhall, just in the Lethbridge area. Real good record, 9 victories, 3 losses. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Ground ball, it's follow the chalk at third base. 1 ball and 2 strikes to the hitter. Should be 1 gone in the inning. Max Skinner today rolled a single out into right field, came around to score in the first inning. Put a pop fly into left field in the third. And popped up on the infield his last time up. Right-handed batter, runner goes. Ball is put into play. It's a line single to center field. They start the runner, and they've got men at first and second base. And Chris Cook will be the batter up. Ball was squared nicely by the batter, and he lined that single into center field. So you got first and second, nobody out. 3-hole hitter in the Calgary lineup, Chris Cook. On a 1-for-3 afternoon, including a double and a run scored. Came around to score on a wild pitch thrown by the relief pitcher, Reese Devlin. Seven batters to the plate in the first inning, and it produced 3 earned runs. There's a pickoff play to second, and not in time. Machete, the shortstop, came over, took the throw, slapped the tag down right on the helmet of the lead runner, Yadzelski, but he's got back in time. Feet spread wide apart by this big left-handed batter. Got him in there as the DH today. And the pitch to him as a strike in the outside half of the plate. 0-1 to Chris Cook. The stretch by Devlin. He checks his lead runner. He works off the third base side of the pitching rubber. He's about ready to go, and the batter, Cook, requests time called. You'll notice Devlin did not make the pitch when time was called. Now, there are some coaches will tell you, but that happens, just release the ball anyway. It lessens your chance of some type of an injury. And we're ready to go. Here's the 1-1 pitch on the fist. Foul to the backstop, strike 2. Start time forecast for 6 p.m. tonight, right in the supper hour for the second end of this doubleheader. I do believe these are 7-inning ball games, generally are in doubleheader days. In fact, they're even doing that now in the major leagues. And that forever was just unheard of, but Big League Baseball, I guess like any other level, you're worried about arm injuries. And the pitch is high and away, 2-2. A number of rules I see in Big League Baseball. They've brought the DH into the National League. I'm not quite sure I really like that. The years that we were affiliated with a Big League club, 4 of those years were with National League teams. And we'd play another AAA club of a National League club. Our pitchers would bat. And I just thought it was a better game. That'll bring the count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. As it was when you played the National League rules, the pitchers almost always batted out of the 9 spot. And their at-bat wouldn't last very long. They tried to bunt a couple of balls or swing and a miss at a pitch. They were not up there to hit. Count is full, and the runners hold, and the pitch inside, ball 4.
Next to bat, number 34, Ellie Anderson.
Kelly Anderson is the right fielder. He'll be the batter up. We'll have a meeting at the mound. That is the second base on ball, issued this afternoon by Reese Devlin. Just to this conversation, I'm sure, is just try to throw strikes, do the best you can. We're not opening up a new can of pitchers at this end of the ball game. You're in the top half of the 7th inning. Anderson today is 1 for 2 with 2 runs scored. Again, can't get over just how beautiful that new artificial turf here at the ballpark is. This is the state-of-the-art stuff. It'll be the 3rd artificial turf on this field in the year since the ballpark opened. Now, the first artificial turf lasted about 10 years. It left a bit to be desired, put it that way. The second one was a little bit better. But like everything else, technology changes and things get better. And this turf, I've been watching it today. It's the first game I've seen on it. And you don't get an artificial high hop. You don't get any of that. The field of play itself has got about a 1-inch bristle on it, but just about like what you'd have on grass. Strike 1 to the batter. Reese is ready to go. Throws a strike. 0-2. Reese Devlin on in relief of Alex Sanders. A 5 1/3 inning distance today. 5 earned runs, 6 hits. He struck out 3 and he walked a pair. And the pitch popped up. Short left field. Drifting back is Machete. And the shortstop there to make the catch. The runners freeze. 1 gone. And Marcus Kader will be the batter. One gone, bases are occupied, bases loaded. Yzelski at third base, Skinner at second. Cook takes his lead off at first. Withrow plays inside the runner at first base. Wenhella is in on the grass at third. Now, if you're going to try to drop a bunt down there, that's obviously a squeeze bunt. And you can't squeeze with more than 2 away. Just can't do it. Here's the pitch, ground ball, right side. And that ball is going to get flagged here by Tolas. His throw is off target at first base. 1 run will come in to score. Another run will come in to score, and the batter will move up. And that'll be an error on the play. So Kader reaches base on a throwing error by Tolas, the second baseman. Less than 2 away, he'll get credit with a run batted in. Skinner will go to third. Skinner will come in to score, I beg your pardon. 2 runs come in on the play. And Cook goes to third. You've got men at first and third base. And there should be 2 out in the inning. Any runs scored from here on in are unearned. This inning should be in the books. Collegiate Hawks now with a right-handed pitcher up and throwing in the bullpen. Double play depth in the middle infield. Off at first base, Kader is on his way to second. And he gets an uncontested steal of the bag. That situation was really just about ideal for an attempt at the steal of second. And what makes it really, really tough on the catcher to tether a throw is you've got a man at third. 2 balls, no strikes. And here comes the pitch, too high. Nathan Damiani, the first baseman, the batter. 2 runs batted in today, 1 on a sacrifice fly, 1 on a single. So he is 1 for 2. Two runners in scoring position for the Dinos. The pitch is a strike. 3-1. Ready to go. Here comes the 3-1 delivery, and that is ball 4. And Jake Hasselink will represent the 7th batter to the plate here in the inning. That appears to be the end of the line for Reese Devlin. And it is. Back with more in just a minute.
Now pitching for your Hogs, number 8, Josh Bentley. Batting for the Dinos, number 29, Jake Hesselink.
Jake Hesselink will be the batter here in the top half of the 7th inning. 7th batter to the plate in the inning. Bases are loaded. 2 runs have come in to score. Hesselink today is 1 for 2 with a base on ball. New pitcher in the ball game is Josh Bentley. Number 8 is a right-hander. Reese Devlin works an inning today out of the relief pen. We'll have his totals for you in a bit. At least one of these runs that he has coughed up will be unearned, maybe 2. And the kick and the pitch. Down and away. And leaving the count up at a ball and a strike. Two errors in this top half of the 7th inning this afternoon. The leadoff batter, Yadzelski, reached base on an error. Came around to score on an error. And the pitch is way high to the target. Noel had to abandon his crouch, extend his left arm up, make the catch. 2 balls and a strike. Chris Cook with the lead off at third base. And here's the pitch. That'll miss low, go to ball 3. Marcus Scudero at second base. He stole a bag here in the 7th inning. Nathan Damiani drew a base on ball. And here comes the pitch. The ball that's skied out into left field. The catch is made here by Mirlott. Tagging up and trotting in to score from third base is Chris Cook. No time at bat and a run batted in. Zach Delarius, the catcher, will be the batter. Well, the first 3 batters that came to The plate here in the 7th inning have all come around to score in different ways. One on an error. And that one there on that fly ball, sacrifice fly. Foul tip, strike one to the batters, Delirious. 8th hitter to the plate here in the top half of the 7th inning. Oh for 2, Delirious. He struck out twice, drew a base on ball his last time up. There he chases the pitch out of the strike zone. Looking around to 0-2, and Josh Bentley is one strike away from putting the Dinos to bed here in the top of the 7th inning. Bentley, a long, lean right-handed pitcher, and he misses high with the pitch. Way high with the pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the 2-strike delivery is high and outside. I'll replay this half inning when we go for our break, but there's a very good chance all 3 of those runs are unearned. And here comes the pitch. He chases one in his eyes, and that'll do it. As Delirious is erased on strikes. First strikeout on the afternoon here for Josh Bentley. As 8 batters come to the plate. 3 runs are scored. 1 hit, 2 errors, and 2 men left on base. Back with the bottom of 7 in just a minute.
Batting first for your Hawks, number 40, Brock Withrow.
Bottom half of the 7th inning about set to get underway. Brock Withrow, the first baseman, to lead things off. And Jordan Smith is 3 outs away from a complete game shutout victory. Fly ball to left field, slicing a little bit. Hasselbeck drifts back on towards the foul track just a little bit, makes the catch, 1 away.
Batting next for the Hawks, number 7, Jacob Honke.
Jacob Honke, the DH, is the batter. And And we are at the 1 hour and 59-minute ballpark and 59-minute mark in this game. Ball game got underway at 2:58. Inside fastball ties the batter up and it's fouled away. Strike one. Honky struck out swinging in the second inning. Hit a comebacker to the mound, and he did that in the fourth. Big knee bend deep in the batter's box on the right-handed side. Swings at a pitch in his eyes. Strike two. And barring a pinch hitter, Drew Tollis, the second baseman, also due up here in the last of seven. Nice pitching job today by big Jordan Smith. There he threw a changeup on a fly ball raised out into right field. Einerson drifts back, makes an easy running grab, and you got two away. Well, he threw a strike with his changeup. One thing I do notice, he drags his arm a little bit on the off-speed pitch. But that did not matter. Two gone. And a couple of fly ball outs here in the last of seven. Drew Tollis, the batter. And a 0 for 2 afternoon, a ground ball out and a strikeout. About midway at first and third, and just back of a double play death in the middle infield. The outfield is straight away. Don't forget, when the Riverhawks take to the diamond in early June, we'll have all these games for you on the worldwide internet. Ball popped up, foul territory at first base, and that'll do it. A 3 up, 3 down inning. And that's it in the ball game. Zeros over the line totals here in the last of seven. And we'll be back in just a second with the final totals. Well, we'll go on to the eighth inning of play. Assumptions sometimes are things that you shouldn't do, and I just assumed this was a 7-inning doubleheader. It's not. It's a 9-inning doubleheader. So we don't have the final totals for you. And we'll move on to the top of the eighth inning, and Darnell Weike, the center fielder, will be the batter. Here against Josh Bentley, third pitcher on the afternoon.
Number 21, Darnell White.
Here for the Collegiate Hawks. White today has popped up, struck out, and he hit a fly ball out. Right-handed batter in the 9th spot in the order. And the pitch is the called strike, 0-1. Unofficially, 3 unearned runs in the 7th inning for the Calgary Dinos on 1 hit, 1 fielding, and 1 throwing error. And 2 men left on base. Second end of the doubleheader get underway right at the start of the supper hour, right at 6 o'clock tonight, Mountain Time. There was an inside fastball, tied the batter up. He dragged the bat head and hit a ball foul down the right side, now to play on towards the bullpen. 2 innings have been the undoing of the Collegiate Hawks today. A 3-run first inning and a 3-run 7th. Pitching is pretty good other than that. Now it's fouled away. No ball, 2-strike count on the leadoff batter, Darnell Weike. Alex Andrus, the starting pitcher today. I thought he pitched better than his fate. 5 in the third inning distance, 5 earned runs on 6 hits, struck out 3, walked a pair. Reese Devlin works 1 inning out of the bullpen, 3 unearned runs, 2 hits, 1 strikeout. And the 1-2 pitch. Tied him up with an inside pitch right below the label. Fouled away. The stretch by Bentley, and here comes the pitch. Down the middle of the plate, but missed at the knee. Yudzletsky, the shortstop, and Skinner, the second baseman. Due up here for the Dinos in the top half of the 8th inning. And here's the 2-2 delivery. Swatted foul off third. There's a ball that's really turned around, hit deep to left field, down the line. Merlott's going to pick this ball up. He feels it right at the lip of the warning track. And that'll be a leadoff double here for Darnell Wakey. Get that one right on the button, turn it around real nice. And Yudzletsky, the shortstop, will be the batter. This will be his 5th trip to the plate today. He's got 4 at-bats, 2 fly ball outs, a called third strike in the 5th inning. Reached base on an error and came around to score in the 7th. Leadoff batter in scoring position here in the top half of the 8th inning. And the pitch on the way is in there at the knee. Strike 1. Josh Bentley, number 8, third pitcher on the day, second pitcher out of the relief pen. Here for the Collegiate Hawks this afternoon. There's the ball club in the dark blue top with a light blue trim. Pitch is in on the fist. That's a good pitch, and a little squibber's going to fall in, and some days that's just what happens. That'll put men at first and third base. His hand probably feels like a vibrator right now in on the hands in a cold afternoon, but it's a looping single out into left field. The infield's fully back to get that ball. So by virtue of a double on a squib single, you've got men at first and third base and nobody out. Here in the top half of the 8th inning. Max Skinner is the batter up. Pretty good afternoon for Max. 4 trips to the plate, 2 hits, 2 runs scored. And here comes the pitch. Pitch is down the middle, but missed at the knee. 1 ball and no strikes. I guess if you're going to miss, that's where you want to miss. You want to miss low. There's a wild pitch. That'll bring in a run, and the man's going to move up. A 1-hopper to the plate that Knoll could not squeeze. So Weike comes in to score from third base. Yudzletsky moves into scoring position on a 1-hop fastball that was not squeezed at the plate by the catcher Knoll. Count is at 2 balls and no strikes. And that one is in there for a called strike, 2-1. Bentley's delivery, he misses with the fastball upstairs, overthrew the fastball, ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. The ball is hit up the middle. That should be an easy catchable ball, and it is. Bourget makes the catch in reverse gear, holds his runners at first and second, and there's one gone in the inning. Next, Skinner is erased on the fly ball out. Chris Cook will be the batter.
Chris Cook.
He's got a 1 for 3 in the afternoon, 2 runs scored. Cook, the DH. Big lumbering left-handed batter up there. Walked and scored in the 7th inning. Darnell Likey has scored on a wild pitch. That moved Yasleski into scoring position. That's where we sit with one out here in the top of the 8th inning. Pitch is down and away, 1 ball and no strikes. And here comes the 1-0 delivery. In on the fists, and it's a hard ground ball foul at first base. We go to 1 ball and 1 strike. U of C are trying to win their 5th ball game of the season. If they're successful, they're in the opening end of the doubleheader. They'd improve to 5-8, and if that happens, the Collegiate Hawks would fall to 3-10. Okanagan College, by a big margin, the best club in the league. 8 games that they have won, more than they've lost. I'm not sure they're going to play tonight or not, but they're 10 wins, 2 losses on the year. And here's the 1-1 pitch, foul to the backstop. Threw him a strike. Bentley ready to go as he plants that left leg down, delivers, and it's the ball belted into left field for a single. Didn't hit it real hard, but he squared the ball, and he gets an opposite field shot, and that'll put runners at first and third base. As Chris Cook gets a hold of a 2-strike pitch out over the plate. Eiley Einerson is the hitter up. And here's the stretch and the pitch, and it's a fastball under the chin, 1 ball, no strike. Yadzelski takes his lead in foul territory off of third base, Chris Cook, with what looks to be about an 8-foot lead at first. Short in the middle infield up to a double play depth. Wenhella is about midway at third, and the pitch inside. Here on the batter. And the 2-0 delivery. Popped it up on the right side of the infield between the bags of first and second, right on the skin. And Torres is under that, 2 away. And there, Bentley did a nice job of spotting that pitch. Batter made contact with it below the label. When you do that, that's generally what you do. You pop it up. The right-hander up and throwing in the Dino bullpen now. He's not throwing off the mound as of yet. Just getting loose. 2 gone in the inning. First and third with a run in. Marcus Scudero, the batter, and there's another potentially wild pitch. If it scores, it will be, and it is. And Josh Bentley tethers another wild pitch here in the inning. Yadzelski comes in to score. Cook moves into scoring position on the wild pitch. Two runs here in the inning have scored on a wild pitch. And here's the 2-0 delivery. High and outside, ball 3. I've been asked before, if a pitcher throws a ball that the catcher can't squeeze and it goes onto the screen, but there's no runners on base, how come it isn't a wild pitch? Well, it isn't. It's just a ball. A wild pitch can only occur with a runner on base that advances because of the pitch that's not caught and rolls back to the backstop. Ball 3, strike 1 here on Marcus Coder. Knocked in a pair of runs in the first inning with a double up the middle. Slapped a base hit into right field in the 4th inning. Dropped down a sacrifice bunt today. And he reached base on a fielding error and got a run batted in the 7th. Here the count runs full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. That should do it in the inning. It's a lazy pop-up. It won't clear the infield skin. Drifting back to shortstop, McKetty. And he makes the catch. So 2 pop-ups and a fly ball get it done here in the top half of the 8th inning. 2 runs come in to score on wild pitches. Done on a collection of 3 hits. No errors and 2 men left on base. And the bottom of the 8th coming your way in just a moment.
Batting first for the Hawks. Number 19, Jacob Moreau.
Move on to the bottom half of the 8th inning, and Jacob Merlot, the left fielder, will be the leadoff batter. We've got a new pitcher into the ball game, a guy with a hyphenated last name. Braden Runions Collar is the man's name. Braden Runions Collar. Jordan Smith was just outstanding from the starting blocks today. A 7-inning shutout. Threw a 4-hitter, struck out 5. He only walked 1 batter and he hit 1 batter. So Braden Runions Collar into the ball game. There's a 1-hopper back up through the box and into center field for a base hit. Jacob Merlot with a leadoff single to get it going here in the last of the 8th inning.
It's number 9, R.J. Bourgeau.
R.J. Bourgeau, the batter up. On a collective 0 for 3 afternoon, 2 ground ball outs to third and a fly ball to right. Jacob Merlot aboard on a bouncing single up the middle. Runion's Collar might have had a chance to field that ball, but it got back to him in pretty good order. Just skipped under his glove and into center field for the single. Bourget takes inside, 1 ball and no strikes. Middle infield is shortened up to a double play depth. The outfield is straight away. Rodero about midway at third base. And the pitch foul back upstairs. 0-2 to the batter. And the Collegiate Hawks heat up a right-hander in their bullpen down the left field foul line. 2 strikes up on the batter. Here comes the pitch. He fought off an inside fastball, fouled it away off to the right. As Bourgeot tries to collect his first knock of the afternoon. Twice in this ball game, the Collegiate Hawks have had 5 men to the plate. On one inning, they sent 4 batters up. The rest have been 3 up, 3 down. Fastball misses high from Braden Runion's collar. He got under the pitch. He's not happy with himself. Hits a high pop-up back at third base on the infield skin. And Caderas is there to make a catch, 1 away.
Next, number 6, Brady McKetty.
And Braden McKetty, the batter up. 1 out, 1 on here in the last of 8. He's been just about as good as anybody in the batting order of the Collegiate Hawks this afternoon. He's got a 2 for 3 going. Pair of singles to center field. And he takes a strike, 0-1. Second end of the doubleheader will get underway at 6 o'clock tonight. Here in the Canadian Collegiate Baseball Conference. Strike 1 on the batter. Here's the kick and the pitch. Sinker ball misses down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Again, a real fine afternoon for tonight's starter, the big tall right-hander Jordan Smith. Threw a 7-inning gem today, a 4-hit shutout. Struck out 5 batters, walked a batter, hit 1 batter. And barring an absolute turnaround outside miracle, he should notch the victory today. Here's a 2-1 pitch. High and outside, ball 3. And that's ball 4, pitch inside. Aiden Schlesinger today will be the batter up.
Number 24, Aiden Schlesinger.
Yeah, got hit by a pitch in the first inning. Reached base on a fielder's choice in the third, drew a base on ball. His last time up, a collective 0 for 2 on the day. Infield remains at a double play depth. Braden Runion's Collier, the pitcher up there, and he's going to throw a wild pitch, breaking from second on away to third is Jacob Merlot because he advances. It's a wild pitch. So with men at first and third base, Collegiate Hawks try for the first time today to push a run across. Ball game at the 2-hour and 20-minute mark. In the last half of the eighth inning, there's the best hit ball of the afternoon for the Hawks. That's a gapper out into left center field. Run will come in to score. We'll have men at second and third base on a double. And a run batted in as Jacob Merlot comes in to score. Got a good piece of wood on that pitch, and he turned it right around.
Connor. One high.
Hit it on the screws for a run-scoring double. And for the first time this afternoon, the Collegiate Hawks have a run in and 2 men in scoring position. And Connor Wanhela, the third baseman, is the batter. Here comes the pitch, and that misses down and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Braden Runion's Collar, hyphenated last name. Down and away, 1 ball and no strike to Wanhela. We believe we'll have a new pitcher coming in to pitch the top half of the 9th inning. And here's the pitch from Runion's Collar, high and outside, ball 2. Surrendered a leadoff single here in the 8th inning. He got an out on a pop-up. And then he walked the batter, McKetty, and then gave up the best hit of the afternoon for the Collegiate Hawk batters. A rope that was hit right on the screws by Schlesinger, a double out into center field. And there's ball 4. Halen Knoll will be the batter.
Next, number 29. Halen Knoll.
Halen Knoll this afternoon, 1 for 3 afternoon, 5th and final strikeout on the day of the starter Jordan Smith. And the pitch is low, 1 ball and no strikes. Two ball and no strike to count here on Halen Knoll. Right-handed batter. Very slight knee bend midway in the batter's box. They're trying to give him a low target. And that pitch misses high. Ball 3, strike none on Knoll. He represents the 6th batter to the plate here in the last of 8. And here the Collegiate Hawks are just 1 swing of the bat away from putting some runs on the board. And as it is, they're going to put a run on the board right here on a bases-loaded walk.
Next is number 40. Brock Withrow.
Brock Withrow will be the batter up. So the bases-loaded walk to Halen Knoll. He gets a run batted in. Bases remain loaded with 1 away. Braden Runion's Collar has really struggled with his command here in the last of 8. He has walked 3 batters here in the inning. And he throws a strike on the outside corner, about knee-high, 0-1. The Dinos are doing something they probably don't want to have to do here in the last of 8, and that's heat up a new arm. So both bullpens now with activity. And this ball is popped up on the infield just inside second base. The shortstop, Izdowski, is there to make the catch, and there's 2 away. It's a big out. And Jacob Honke is the batter up, the DH. And again, the sun has found its way to peer through the clouds this afternoon for about the second time today. Cool afternoon. It was about 12 degrees centigrade at game time, which is roughly 54 degrees Fahrenheit. Not real warm. But the good thing is no wind. That was in the early days of professional baseball this time of the year. If the wind stayed down, you could get ball games in. You'd still get them in with the wind, but you'd have pull muscles and what have you, and just not a good deal. Baseball is not designed to be played in cold weather. Consider at a count of 1-1 here in the last half of the eighth inning. Jacob Honke trying to get his first knock of the day. He's gone 0 for 3. A ground out, a strikeout, and a fly out. Here comes the pitch to him. Takes a big rip at it and fouls it back. You go to 1-2. Bryden Runion's caller. Big right-hander delivers, throws a nice curveball, swing and a miss. That's the best pitch he's thrown today. Big slow curveball from about 11 o'clock delivery. Not quite an overhand curve. But 8 men come to the plate for the Hawks. They score a run. They do it on a pair of hits. No errors. And 3 men left on base. And the Collegiate Hawks are on the board as we go to the top half of the ninth inning.
Up first for the Dinos, number 33, Nathan Damiani.
On to the top half of the ninth inning. New pitcher in the ball game. Don't have a first name for you. Stamatakis is the last name. V. Stamatakis. In relief of Josh Bentley. Vasiolis Stamatakis is the name of the new pitcher in the ball game here in the ninth inning. Nathan Damiani is the batter. Well, he's aboard at first base. And the pitch is down and away. Here in the ninth inning, the leadoff batter, Nathan Dimiani, was hit by a pitcher from Stamatakis, and the ball is hit back to the mound. It's Stamatakis onto the shortstop, Machete covering, and he throws wide of the target at first base. But out at second, if your scoring is 1-6, a fielder's choice on the batter.
Zach Delays.
And the pitch is fouled away here by the batter up for the Calgary Dinos, Zach Melaris, the catcher. Zach Delirious this afternoon has drawn a base on ball, and he's pretty much got the golden sombrero today. He has struck out 3 times. Count of a ball and a strike as Vasialis Stamataskis is the batter up. That is a name that spells like an eye chart. Double play depth in the middle infield. The right-hander comes set. Here's the pitch. And the fastball misses outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Machete and Tallis shorten up to a double play depth in the middle infield. Stamatoskis with a high and outside fastball. And it's 3-1. Both bullpens now with activity. Got a right-hander up and throwing in the Dinos pen. And the right-handed pitcher up and throwing down the left field foul line. For the Collegiate Hawks, ball 3, strike 1. Delirious with that front foot wide open towards the bucket. Takes high and outside. Go to ball 4. Darnell Wyke is the batter.
Next to the Dinos, number 21, Darnell White.
Wyke this afternoon pulled the trigger on a double in the 8th inning, and he'd come around to score on a wild pitch. All game, the first 4 innings went by in less than an hour. It's kind of slowed down to a snail's pace. We're at about the 2-hour and 32-minute mark here in the 9th. There are 9-inning ball games. The reason they go with 9s at this collegiate level is to get the guys some work, and I can certainly understand that. They don't play a lot of games, so much work as you can get in, the better. Pitch is a fastball. He was right on that pitch, fouled it straight back, right over the right shoulder of Noel, today's catcher here for the Riverhawks. Amatoskis is inside with a fastball. That'll bring the count even to 1 ball and 1 strike here on Darnell Wyke. Runners aboard. Hesselink, your lead runner. Delirious takes a short lead off at first base. The infield is about midway all the way around. The outfield is in a little bit and straight away. And the pitch. Stamatoskis is high and inside. Ready to go. Here comes the 2-1 delivery. Stamatoskis is high and inside. Ball 3. 2 runs on the board this afternoon for the Collegiate Hawks on 6 hits. They've had a bad day. Very bad day in the infield defensively. 5 errors. And errors most of the time, just about all the time, mean unearned runs. Here comes your 3-1 pitch. And he got right on that one, fouled it straight back. I think he probably swung at ball 4. Visialis Stamastoskis is the relief pitcher this afternoon. There's ball 4. That loads the bases. And we go to the top of the order. And we'll have a new pitcher coming into the ball game, and we'll be back with more in just a minute. New pitcher in the ball game is number 25, Alex White. And he comes in with the bases full. Alex White evens the count up at a ball and a strike with a pitch out of the strike zone. Hasselink is at third base. Delarius at second. Weike takes his lead at first. One gone in the inning. And the Collegiate Hawks, despite the score, have decided to draw the infield in. 2 balls and 1 strike on the batter. Now, with the infield in, one thing you cannot do is throw a changeup. And there's a swing and a miss. 2-2. Vasialis Stamastokis leaves the ball game with 1 gone and the bases loaded. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Yadelski. Getting out of the leadoff spot in the order, the number 1 position in the batting order. Bouncing ball, foul at first base. Being down 8 runs in the 9th, personally I'd play the infield back, and if run scores, it scores, get the game over with. But they've drawn the infield in. And here's the 2-2 pitch. Ball is put into play, fielded not cleanly at first base. A run will score, and an out is made. Hasselink scores. Delarius moves to second. Weike goes on to second. Delarius to third. Hasselink scores. On the unassisted put out at first base, and a run batted in, 2 away. Max Skinner, the second baseman, is the batter. And the pitch is down and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Here to Max Skinner. A pretty nice poll here this afternoon. 2 for 5 with 2 runs scored. Chris Cook, the DH, is on deck. Down and away. 2 balls and no strikes. It has not been an easy day for the Collegiate Hawks on the mound. It has not been a good day for them defensively. Because of that, they've coughed up 11 runs. It's a pretty good breaking ball. He took a little off the pitch. It's in the strike zone. Swung on and missed. Here to Skinner. And the 2-1 delivery. There's a roller up wide of first base, and that should do it. Here's the underhand flip to Alex White covering. 3-1 on the putout. We move to the bottom half of the 9th inning. Back with more in just a minute. Thomas Heemer, the new pitcher in the ball game, is move along here to the 9th inning, bottom half of 9. As the Collegiate Hawks are down by 9, 11-2 score. Count of 2 balls and no strikes on the leadoff batter out of the 8th spot in the order. Second baseman Drew Tallis. On an 0 for 3 afternoon. A lot of 0-fers in that Edmonton lineup today, and good pitching does that. Good pitching was the name of the game for Jordan Smith, the starting right-handed pitcher today. Threw a 4-hit gem over the opening 7 innings. And the pitch fouled in the batter's box. Tallis, Merlot, and Bourgeau are due up here for the Collegiate Hawks here in the bottom half of the 9th inning. Infield is back, fanned apart. The outfield is straight away. Dribbler back towards the mound. That should be the opening out of the inning. Well, it should be, but it's not. Get it out of your system, boys, here in the first game. That's a 3-base error. Here to the pitcher, Thomas Heemer. That is an easy opening out of the inning. You've made a good pitch. You got an easy ground ball back to the mound. And then you just throw it away. 3-base error to the pitcher. Man at third, nobody out. Jacob Merlot is the batter up. 9-hole hitter. Looks like he's just slightly up on the bat a little bit. Left-handed batsman. And he takes a called strike, 0-1. And a fastball, and this is high and outside of the target. That'll bring the count even at a ball and a strike. Ball game now at the 2-hour and 48-minute mark as this one has popped up foul. It was a fastball high and outside, and he a little late on the swing. That'll bring the count around to 1 ball, 2 strikes. Should be 1 gone and bases empty here in the inning. And the pitch is down and away. I know they've done some work on the sprinkler system here at the ballpark too. If you were around here last summer, it was a summer as of never before. It was almost like being in the desert. Baking hot temperatures just about every day, very little rain. And I was at the ballpark last August, and you'd have never known it by that outfield grass. It was just a beautiful green color. Now, it doesn't look like it today because we're playing a ball game in April, but it will get better. You'll see that up in the big leagues, too, in the colder spots like the White Sox and the Cubs. That time of the year, it looks like it's cold, and it is. There's a pop fly lifted out into center field. Should be deep enough to score the run. The throw was on target on one bounce, but not in time, and Drew Tallis comes in to score an unearned run. R.J. Bourgier will be the batter.
Who's this guy? Oh, you know it is. Number 9. It's R.J. Bourgeau.
Bourgeau today, 0 for 4. Thomas Heemer, third pitcher into the ball game this afternoon for the Calgary Dinos. Jordan Smith will pick up the victory today. Well deserved, a 7-inning, 4-hit shutout. And the pitch is a foul tick. Strike 1 to the batter. The windup by the right-handed pitcher, and it's a ball that's in on the fists and a ball pounded foul at third base. 2 strikes on the batter. 6 o'clock for the second end of this collegiate doubleheader today. Early June, the Riverhawks will tee it up with their first home opener in franchise history. Portland Ball Club will be in town, the Portland Pickles. So that's still about 5 weeks away. So one thing about the collegiate season, it's not a long season, 56 games in total, sandwiched in of about 9.5 weeks. But here's the kick in the 0-2 pitch, and that just missed low. Heemer ready to go. Big, tall right-hander delivers. He threw a changeup, and he missed high with it. 2-2. Really only 2 changeups that I'm kind of aware of. One is a palm ball changeup, and the other is a circle changeup, the thumb and the first finger, turning the ball over. It's really a good pitch for left-handed pitchers. Throw something down and away to a right-handed batter. It's sort of the new version of what we used to call a screwball. Oh, an unearned run has come in to score. Bases are empty with 1 away. Seven errors in this ball game today. Three balls and 2 strikes to count. And the pitch from Heemer is a fastball high and outside, ball 4.
Braden McKetty.
Braden McKetty, the batter up. Check swing on a call strike, 0-1 to McKetty. 2 for 3 afternoon with a walk and a run scored. Left-handed batter. Works pretty deep in the batter's box. Front foot very slightly open. Small bend at the knee. And the pitch is on the outside block, strike 2. Runner goes. The pitch is an off-speed pitch. It's swung on and it's missed. Stolen base for Bourgeau. And McKetty is down on strikes, 2 away.
Batting next to the Hawks, number 24, Aiden Schlesinger.
And Aiden Schlesinger, the batter up. I thought he had about the best knock of the afternoon for the Collegiate Hawks in the 8th inning. He hit a line straight up the middle, line drive double. Hit it in good order, and the pitch inside to him, 1 ball and no strikes. Schlesinger got hit by a pitch in the 1st inning. Reached base on a fielder's choice, and the 3rd drew a base on ball, was caught stealing. And the run-scoring double his last time up. Man in scoring position as Bourgeau steals second base, and the pitch is going to bring the count around to a ball and a strike. And the pitch. Slow ground ball pulled to the left side of the diamond. Charged here by Zizlowski, the shortstop, and that'll do it. We're scoring, it's a 6-3 putout, and that will end the ball game. And not a pretty one. 1 unearned run comes in to score for the Collegiate Hawks.
Game 1
on
of the doubleheader.
No hits,
The
1 error,
Dinos victorious
and 1 man left on base.
On 12 hits with 2
Total
errors.
totals today: 11 runs on 12 hits, 2 errors for the victorious Calgary Dinos, 3 runs on 6 hits, and 5 errors for the Collegiate Hawks. U of C improves to 5-8. The Edmonton Collegiate Hawks will fall to 3-10 in the first end of our doubleheader today. Alex Andrus, the starting and losing pitcher this afternoon, 5 1/3 innings, 5 earned runs on 6 hits, 3 strikeouts, 2 base on balls, takes the L here for the Collegiate Hawks. And the winning pitcher is Jordan Smith, a 7-inning, 4-hit shutout today, pitched outstanding baseball, 5 strikeouts and 1 base on ball. Time of the ball game, it's pretty nifty as a matter of fact. 1 hour and 58 minutes for a game with all those runs and errors, but that's what it ends up is. A victory here for the U of C Dinos as they played 11 runs, do it on 12 hits, and win the opening end of the Twin Bill. Second game of this day-night doubleheader get underway at 6 p.m. Have a fine afternoon from right here at Remax Field.